Good evening, Facebook. Get rid of some of that noise. All right, Facebook Live. So we have less than 24 hours to go until Election Day. My only words to you tonight is very simple. They're very simple words. Go vote. If you hadn't voted, if you hadn't voted already, what are you waiting on? Go vote. Our very livelihood is depending on this election. And, we have to make a clear decision as to what kind of country we want to have our kids grow up in, what kind of country we want our grandkids to grow up in, what kind of country we want to live in. Do we want to have some orange man who brags about what he does to women, involuntarily, what he do to women? If he brags about it, do we want to present that to our kids? Do we want to present to our kids some guy who has said harmful and hurtful words about every race except his own? Do we want to present that to our kids? I don't think so. I want to make sure that Jory understands that she can be president of the United States if she wanted to be. Now, not even if she wants to, not even just president of the United States, but she can run a Fortune 500 company. But that she could be the president of a major university. Because that glass ceiling is cracked, not only just for women, but for everyone who wants opportunity in this country. We need to make sure that we go out and vote. Everyone who wants opportunity, everyone who wants a better quality of life, we need to make sure that we go vote. And not only do we need to make sure that we go vote, but we need to make sure that we go and elect Hillary Clinton president of the United States. A lot of you say, well, my vote don't matter. They're going to do what they want to do anyway. We saw in 2008 and in 2012, the election was decided by a handful of votes in certain precincts. Your vote matters. If anything matters, if there's any debate about what matters, your vote matters. Your vote matters. I've seen elections won and lost with 6 votes, 7 votes. Your vote matters. So if you're undecided about who to vote for, I'm telling you guys, there isn't a choice. There isn't an option. Hillary Clinton is the only option. She is the only candidate fit to run our country. She is the most qualified candidate. We've heard the president say it time and time again that she is the only qualified candidate to run this country. She is the most qualified candidate in history. From 17 years old, from a young girl, serving people, going to Alabama to expose segregation and to expose that type of behavior in our school systems. Went on to become a lawyer, First Lady United States Senator, Secretary of State, presidential candidate. Tomorrow we have the ability to elect her to be our president. We need to go vote. We need to do our civil duties, not only for President of the United States, but we need to make sure that we're electing Jim Barksdale here in Georgia to the United States Senate. Because there's so many policies that our Republican Senate has fought so hard to block, not because they're horrible policies, but because they're policies that President Obama put forward. They didn't like President Obama, so now they're going to block policy. Not because it's bad policy, but because of the name that was behind the policy. We need to make sure that we're electing a good Senate, a good House, and we can start doing that by electing Jim Barksdale to the United States Senate. And if you live in Senate District 24, here in the CSRA, you need to go to the polls and elect Brenda Jordan as your state senator. Listen, Brenda is a hard worker. I was fortunate enough to meet Brenda 4 years ago, and ever since I've met Brenda, I have never had a negative thing to say about her or her leadership. Brenda has energy. Brenda has the capacity to run things. Brenda knows what she's doing. She knows the issues. She's a retired school teacher. She's passionate about our kids. Brenda don't play no games. We need to make sure that we're electing Brenda Jordan to this State Senate District 24 so that the CSRA can continue to prosper. Brenda Jordan is an excellent asset to our communities. And we're living here in Richmond County. We need to make sure that Sheriff Roundtree is our sheriff. Augusta has become a better place because of Sheriff Roundtree. He has put in so many policies that have helped us, even going so far as to implementing the body cameras, which we played a very instrumental part in. Sheriff Roundtree cares about this community. I don't care what anyone says about Sheriff Roundtree. He knows how to handle this community. He knows what to do with it. He knows how to handle our sheriff's department. He's done it in a magnificent way. He's brought class to that office, and he knows what he's doing. He's progressive. He's a great sheriff. We need to make sure that we go to the polls and elect Sheriff Roundtree as our sheriff, re-elect Sheriff Roundtree as our sheriff. Let's not allow this election to slip through the cracks. Let's not allow this election to slip through our fingertips, through the cracks of our fingers, because we just simply didn't go vote, or we didn't vote down the ballot. Not only electing Sheriff Roundtree, but we need to make sure that we're voting no to Opportunity School District, to Amendment 1. Opportunity School District is the number one question on that ballot after the candidates. Opportunity School District is the first question. We need to make sure that we are voting against Opportunity School District. And that would not be a vote against our children. And that won't be a vote to keep our 68,000 students, as the rhetoric says. 68,000 students will be trapped in these failing schools if we vote against Opportunity School District. That is not the case. Voting no on Opportunity School District would then put our legislators back at the drawing board. That would put our governor back at the drawing board. Not only would it put them back at the drawing board, but it would put parents and community members at the table to have a say-so in what the discussion and what the decision is for our schools. We need to make sure that we have an inclusive conversation about what's best for our kids, what's best for our schools. We need to have conversations about taking the brakes off of our teachers so that they can vote. I'm still thinking about voting. We need to make sure that we are taking the brakes off of our teachers so that they can teach to their passions, so they can have more flexibility to teach to the classes that they have. Let's be honest, certain classes are mixed. Some classes don't have the same ratio of students who are, so-called getting it and the ones who aren't getting it. They need to be able to teach to their class. Teachers don't have that ability right now. We have teachers who have become zombies because of state-mandated material. We need to make sure that we are taking that away from our teachers and making sure that they have the ability to teach to the classes that they have. We have to vote no on Opportunity School District so that our class sizes can lower. There's no reason why one teacher should have close to 35 students in a classroom. There's no way possible that each child will have an equal opportunity at learning with 35 kids in a class. We need to vote no on Opportunity School District so that the class sizes can lower, so that these budget cuts can stop, so that these games can stop being played in the state at the state level. It's time for us to take a vested interest in our communities, a vested interest in our school systems. And Sunday I spoke about, how David fought Goliath. And people counted David out time and time again just because David didn't have the background, or David didn't know what he was doing, or whatever the case may be. David was a young man. No one really thought David could handle certain situations. But David knew in his heart that if he went after the issue in his land, which was Goliath, that even if he lost the battle, he would not sit down and allow himself to not face this giant. David did what he had to do. He went on and he grabbed his rocks and he slayed the giant. My discussion with the congregation was the fact that we are the rocks in this situation. If we step up and become the rocks to slay these giants in our land, Opportunity School District is a giant. Bad policy sliding through the cracks, they're giants. Low voter turnout, that is a giant. But guys, we are the rocks in these situations. And these Goliaths that are in this land, we can slay them. We can make sure that our classrooms are a place where learning takes place. We can make sure that every child has an equal opportunity at a quality education. We can make sure that this happens. And we can do that by voting no on Opportunity School District. This has got to be one of the worst policies to ever come down the line. And it's not a Democrat policy. It's not a Republican policy. This is policy that sucks. And it sucks because it leaves so many people out of the equation. If you're talking about caring about our children because of poverty is such and such and such, let's talk about poverty. If you're saying that the economy is horrible, so therefore our schools are terrible, or our schools are terrible because the economy is horrible, let's talk the economy. But let's not create this entire picture that all of our kids are failing and that the kids in majority urban inner city schools are failing. Let's talk about the fact that we've lost $184 million out of Richmond County schools in the course of 10 years, and the fact that Georgia has lost $8 billion, and the fact that Richmond County alone this year has lost $3 million. Let's be open and honest about what we're fighting. Let's be open and honest about what our giant is so that we can become the rocks and knock these giants down. As young people, and I'm talking to all of my millennials out here, all of the young folks who are watching this video, we have to step up. We have to take an interest in our communities. We talk about giving our communities power. We talk about putting such and such in our communities, but we have to make sure that our communities are strong. We have to make sure that young voters are empowered to go out and make a difference in their communities. We have to make sure that our voices are heard, making sure that we know who our elected officials are so that we can have results in our communities. We are the ones to go out and do this. But like I said earlier in a post that I put up, it's not about young voters or old voters or this voter, that voter. It's about everyone coming together to make sure, to secure a better future, to secure a better quality of life, a better quality of doing business in our state, in our country, in our cities, in our counties. That's what it's all about. So I don't care if you're old, I don't care if you're young, I don't care if you're Democrat, I don't care if you're Republican. We have to come together and work like we never worked before. And we can start this work and we can start this progress by going to the polls tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. And if you have to stand in line for an hour, stand in line for that hour. Stand in line like your life depends on it. Stand in that line like the very future that you're looking towards depends on it, because that future is depending on it. This vote will determine how bright our tomorrow is. Not just presidential, but the votes that we cast for our local officials, the votes that we cast for our senator, the votes that we cast for Opportunity School District, and the other amendments, the fireworks tax that I'm voting yes on, because now that fireworks are legal in this state, I want to make sure that if you have a situation with your fireworks, if you pop a firecracker and you get injured, I want to make sure that our trauma centers are fully equipped to take care of every person who comes in with trauma because of fireworks. Let's make sure that passes. We need to make sure that we toughen up on our laws when it comes down to sex trafficking. So we need to make sure that amendment passes. And here in Richmond County, we need to make sure that we are voting for the 1% tax in the school system, the extension, to keep it going. There's so many projects, building new schools in Richmond County that will feed into areas like Gate 1 and Fort Gordon and getting some of our schools and some of our students back from the Columbia County areas. Because Richmond County is a great place to get an education. So let's make sure that we are actively voting and knowing what we're voting for. Okay? I have faith in the fact that tomorrow we will come out victorious. I have faith in the fact that we're going to go out in record numbers and not only elect our very first female president, but we will make sure that we secure Georgia's future by electing Jim Barksdale to the Senate. And we will make sure that Augusta continues to be a progressive city that works for all people by putting keeping Sheriff Roundtree in office. And not only that, but going ahead and electing our state representatives who are on the ballot. And not only that, but voting in our amendments, voting against Opportunity School District first and foremost. That's really important, guys. So when you go to the polls, don't just stop at Hillary Clinton. Don't just stop at Hillary Clinton. Continue going and vote down that ballot. Vote down the ballot. And make sure after you vote your candidates, vote against Opportunity School District. That is what we need to focus on doing tomorrow. If you need a ride to the polls, give me a call. Send me a message on Facebook. Give me a call. If you want to volunteer tomorrow, give me a call. I'm like Ken Nugent. One call, that's all, and we'll get you set. We're here in the office tonight, making sure that everything is set and ready to go for tomorrow. You see, we're not just in here, playing around. We're actually against it. You see my kazoo? That's my entertainment, guys. I'm a little silly, but we're working, guys. So we need you to get on board. We need you to make sure that we're securing progress, man, for our kids, that we're making sure that we don't have to wake up in the morning to news that another young man has been shot or that crime is continually to be prevalent in our communities. We don't have to wake up to that kind of news. We can wake up to a better future. We can wake up to a better newscast. We can do that, but we have to get out and vote. The first step into making our communities better is us getting out there and voting to put the people in place who are going to have oversight over our communities. Get involved. Get involved. Run for office. Don't wait. Run now. Don't wait your turn. There's no such thing as your turn. Run for office. If you have a passion, run. It's time that we do something. So I'm encouraged, guys. I am encouraged. I am tired, but I'm encouraged, and I'm excited. So feel free to come down here and join us tomorrow, 1129 Laney Walker Boulevard. Come join us. We're going to watch the OSD results. We're going to watch the presidential results. And we're just going to have fun. So come down and talk to us and visit us throughout the day. We're here from 9 o'clock in the morning, and we're leaving when the last person is gone. So come on down, guys. Let's make this happen. We can do this. I'm confident that we can do this. We can turn Georgia blue. We can make Augusta great. We can do great things, man. We can do it. I know that we can do it. Make Augusta great. I sound like Donald Trump. So let's make it happen. Let's work, guys. Let's work. So if you need anything, message me on Facebook, and I'll give you my number so that we can organize a ride to the poll for you. If you would like to volunteer tomorrow, again, message me on Facebook, and we will get together and make sure that you get what you need. All right. But in the meantime, continue to enjoy your election night eve, election day eve. We're less than 24 hours away from from electing a new president. I know we're going to miss President Obama. I know I'm going to miss President Obama, but we are in great hands with Hillary Clinton. I have no doubt about that. I'm excited to see what the future of this country will hold. But first, we have to go vote. Let's not let this slip through our hands. If you don't like Hillary Clinton, if you don't like Donald Trump, that's fine. You don't have to like Hillary Clinton. Like Oprah said, she's not coming to your house. But if you care about criminal justice reform, it's on the ballot. If you care about, if you say Black Lives Matter, it's on the ballot. If you care about everyone having access to quality and affordable health care, it's on the ballot. If you're passionate about education being top notch, and if you're passionate about our kids being able to compete on a higher scale when it comes down to education, compete against kids all over this world, it's on the ballot. It's on the ballot. And the only person who are upholding these principles, the only person who are upholding the very things that we hold best, our interest, is Hillary Clinton. It's Jim Barksdale. It's Richard Roundtree. It's Brenda Jordan. Let's make it happen, guys. Let's go vote. Let's turn out. Let's turn Georgia blue, and let's continue our progress. So, once again, if you need anything on Election Day, feel free to give me a call, and we will make sure that you get everything that you need. A ride to the polls, a sample ballot, whatever the case may be. Give me a call. All right? Good night, everybody. See you on Election Day.